Rutgers apart in this first half.
Next time on Up Close Classic.
This is version 2000 of the Big Ten, and these are its stars, setting their sights on greatness after a season of great finishes.
Williams at the top of the circle with a three. It's good! Illinois wins! Illinois wins! Illinois wins!
15 looking to dish it in.
Right wing. Drives, stumbles a bit.
Got it into Morris Peterson.
Shoots a three.
Hit it!
Oh my God! He hit it. A.J. Guyton.
Today, the teams of the Big Ten have invaded Chicago. The city of broad shoulders hosts the best of the Midwest. The Big Ten tournament is next. The third year of the Big Ten tournament. For all 3 years, we have been on the shores of Lake Michigan in Chicago, and the United Center plays host to our first quarterfinal today, matching 13th ranked 5th seeded Indiana and 4th seeded Illinois, looking for its 20th win of the year. Following Illinois and Indiana, the top seed Ohio State against Penn State, which yesterday eliminated Michigan. That's about 3 Eastern here on ESPN2. Following Michigan State, Iowa tonight, we wrap up with Purdue and Wisconsin. And again, welcome to Chicago. Dave Barnett, Quinn Buckner. In our first game, we find out if recent history means anything at all. These two played on February 22nd. Probably the best Illinois has ever played under Lon Kruger. They led 52-28 at the half. Blew Indiana back to Bloomington, 87-63. But both coaches say, forget that. It means nothing today.
No, I think they're right. It doesn't mean anything. And Bob Knight's team, he's got to figure out which team is going to come out. But that's not any different than Lon Kruger. He's had one team play extremely well like they did against Indiana, and then sometimes they play flat. It's always interesting when you get to tournament time.
Bob Knight in his 29th year as the head coach of the Hoosiers. 37-18 all-time against the Illini. Today, his 900th game as the head coach at IU. And A.J. Guyton wrapping up a spectacular senior year. Led the Big Ten in scoring. Media selected him Player of the Year in the Big Ten. Illinois led by 6'3" sophomore Corey Bradford at 15.7 points per game. And he led the league with those 84 three-point baskets. They closed fast for Kruger, winning 8 of their last 9, including that blowout over the Hoosiers. 4 years. Last year as the 11th seed, almost ran the table all the way to the finals, where they finally fell to Michigan State. Donnie Gray, Art McDonald, Sam Licklider, the officials. We are set to go in the quarterfinal round of the Big Ten. Jeffrey Newton and Brian Cook for the opening tap, and it is stolen by Michael Lewis, who drives and draws the call against Frank Williams.
Well, right out the box, Indiana and Michael Lewis, just really good anticipation. Just figure out where the ball's going to go. See, can you get there? You see him get out, get up, and Frank Williams got surprised by the whole thing. Before he knew it, Lewis was on him, and Frank Williams fouled him.
Michael Lewis is 79% free throw shooter. First in conference play in assists. He has been rewarded as a third-team All-Big Ten selection, but he and everybody else really struggling in that game in Champaign.
Illinois just outplayed Indiana that game in Champaign. I thought they were the much more aggressive team, and when you do that, the officiating and everything responds to that kind of play, and Indiana just was not anywhere near up to the task.
Lucas Johnson, here by Des Plaines, Illinois, 6'8" sophomore. Now Bradford moving into a block by Newton, went right to Williams. Plenty of time. 15 on the shot clock. Johnson to the baseline, hit the side of the backboard.
Pretty solid defense by Newton and then by Indiana in general.
Lewis to surprise Newton. Makes a nice catch. Through the hands now of Kyle Hornsby and out of bounds.
First of all, Newton is playing Bradford. He's got the height advantage, had that left arm on him, but not much chance you can get that shot up. Bradford's got to make a decision to kick it to the man Newton is guarding.
There was a bright spot in that game. It was Newton. 6 block shots and a career-high 17 points in Champaign. Brian Cook, first points for the Illini.
You're talking about bright spots. That's been one of the bright spots for the Illini. The the way that Brian Cook, the freshman, has come along with his game.
Their season may be hanging in the balance middle of the conference year when Marcus Griffin went down with knee surgery. Cook stepped in. That's when they ran off 8 of 9 wins. Lots of momentum coming into the postseason. Frank Williams off balance on the run.
Boy, you see him take the contact and still get it on the glass. Pushes it at you real quick. Made a tough decision, but made an even tougher shot.
Williams, one of a number of McDonald's All-Americas. And Illinois Mr. Basketball's on Lon Kruger's roster. Won that award 2 years ago. Sat last year for academics. This is Kirk Haston.
Indiana offensively is really struggling with the defense of Illinois. I mean, they're forcing that shot because they can't get the ball where they want it to go. Illinois is doing such a good job.
Lewis missing badly for 3. At this end, Bradford is long from 3-point range. Michael Lewis again looking to push the pace. First touch by Guyton, and he goes inside for Haston's hook.
Come there with the mini sky hook.
Hey, they're all mini compared to the original.
You're right about that.
Haston's second team All-Conference.
For Indiana, you know, you watch their team, they know that Guyton and Haston will be pretty effective. What they always are looking for is that third or fourth guy. Illinois has the same kind of problem.
Kyle Hornsby gets his first career start today. Underneath to Haston, held off by the defensive Cook.
Good defense by Cook. He just put his hands up and didn't move.
Lucas Johnson runs the floor, can't make the catch, feeds Sergio McLean. In traffic, he turns it over. And now Guyton, hemmed in, goes right around Bradford. Short on the baseline. And saved out to Guyton. Move by Newton inside, and he comes up short.
Yeah, he just couldn't finish it. You could tell he just didn't have his legs. He made a really good move to get open. Johnson
for the 3, short as well. Guyton saved right back to Lucas Johnson, and Bradford misses. Indiana only 1 of 7. Illinois 2 of 6 at 3 by Lewis, very short.
I mean, this game has just had none of the pace that I think either coaching staff would like to have. A.J. Guyton's pass was clearly one that you play on the playground.
This is not how that one began, certainly not for Illinois when they led 52-28 at the half, forced 22 Indiana turnovers. They got only 2 3-pointers compared to 13 by the Illini. And A.J. Guyton, for all intents and purposes, didn't play. He got first half minutes, but made only 3 points. And he already equals that.
Yes, because in the second half, he sat down. He hardly played at all in the second half. Bob and I didn't like the defense or lack thereof with A.J. Guyton. He felt that it was just time to make a change.
Williams going past Lewis, and he draws the foul.
The difference in Indiana this year is they really screen for one guy, and that's A.J. Guyton. If you get him open, he can spot up and make shots. That's why he is the Big Ten Player of the Year, co-player of the year, that is, with Morris Peterson.
You see only 1 of 5 in only 19 minutes back last month, but he gives Indiana a 6-4 lead. Marcus Griffin makes his first appearance, goes inside of Haston, can't finish, draws the foul though.
And Haston has little chance to guard him. You can see that right now, and Griffin knows it. I mean, he came in, this is the guy just come off the bench, and he had been starting. But he comes up, look how aggressive he is. He's in there aggressive right now. I mean, it's almost like a man with a boy here. Gets a nice up and under, gets Haston way out of position, and almost gets a three-point play.
Marcus Griffin injured his left knee in late January. They thought he might miss as much as 6 weeks, with 2.5 weeks later. Missing only 5 games, he was back. Kruger has continued to bring him off the bench because Brian Cook stepped in. And everything solidified at that point, despite the injury to Griffin. Cook playing well as the starter. Griffin not minding the role coming off the bench. Bradford runs down the long rebound. His miss on the baseline is saved by Newton.
Illinois is getting a lot of opportunities on the offensive glass, and that eventually bite Indiana.
Both teams only 2 of 9 from the field, and Williams steps out of bounds. Couldn't come back in and save it.
He got bumped. And that's what Lon Kruger's saying. He got bumped, no doubt about it.
15:59 in the first half. Not a thing of offensive artistic beauty yet. But unlike that first meeting, it is close. A one-point game early in Chicago.
I'm Chris, and I lost 120 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Listen up, guys. Want to shed a few pounds? Got a beer belly going on?
Both A.J. Guyton, who was voted Player of the Year by the media, and Morris Peterson of Michigan State, who are in the coaches' nod.
Yeah, and if you talk to Tom Izzo, he thinks that Akeem Cleaves should be thrown into that mix because of what he does for a team. And he does a good job of directing the team, but I thought Morris Peterson, on a consistent basis, was the guy that they really had to look to pull them through a lot of games.
Cleaves missing the first half of the year, and Peterson carrying Michigan State the entire season. Hornsby up with a three-pointer.
And he's in the starting lineup because he's a guy, they say, that goes hard all the time, including practice. You can see he can knock down shots. They just call an offensive foul against Marcus Griffin.
Griffin with his first. Hornsby only 6 of 23 during the season from three. Strokes this one nicely.
Well, you could see right out there, Brown got out late. Hornsby was in the rhythm, knocked it down.
9-5 Indiana. Hornsby, a redshirt freshman. Anacoco, Louisiana product. First career start today. Haston. Guyton maneuvering around Lucas Johnson and leaves it for Newton. Not free by Johnson. 3-on-2 for the Illini. And Bradford draws the foul. Third team foul for Indiana. Already as many threes as the Hoosiers had that entire game, and Illinois yet to hit their first three.
Let me tell you, Illinois came out with such energy and I thought force and sense of purpose in that first game. I don't think Indiana really realized what hit them before it was too late. So hitting threes was the last thing on their mind. They were just trying to make sure they didn't get beat up. Illinois just took it to them.
17 threes in that run from the 11th seed to the finals last year, more than any team made.
You know, compared to last year, he's almost been a little bit lost in their offense. I mean, he was much more of a focus last year, even had to play some point guard, but he was a guy because he can stroke the ball so well that they got the ball in position to score a lot more.
Well, they couldn't wait for Williams this year to finally gain his eligibility. Kirk Haston with 4 points. Biggest lead now, Hoosiers by 5. Griffin spinning but missing.
And they're going early offense to Griffin when they get it into like a secondary break situation. Try to get it to him quickly.
Illinois have missed their last 6 shots. Haston again.
Throw another little sky hook. The mini hook.
So far, Kirk Haston owning that matchup with Griffin. And the lead is 7. Bad pass right into the hands of Hornsby. 5th turnover already by the Illini. And Guyton, with a toe on the line, barely catches any iron at all.
Good defense, as a matter of fact. I thought it was a bad shot because Bradford was right on it.
Williams into the middle. Griffin sets up the wide open 3. This is Cleotis Brown just in off the bench.
Solid ball movement though. It went inside to Griffin, who had tried to make two plays before. This time he kicked it in.
Almost 5 minutes between baskets for Illinois, and now Johnson goes up with the hard foul of Haston. First on Lucas.
Haston has found ways to get open. He can step up, knock down the little 15-footer right there. But he's starting to add some other parts to the game. This is his second of 2 hooks. But he's become so aggressive that Illinois knows they've got to get to him quick. Lucas Johnson, an irritant. A guy you would love to have as a teammate. You don't like him if he's in the opposition, though.
He's the Brian Cardinal, Jacob Jakes element. Gets in, throws the elbow, stirs things up. Heads to the bench now after the foul.
His whole intent is to get you to do something other than what you do in practice.
Very often he succeeds. Haston, 8 points. And Demir Kupalya along with Robert Archibald off Lon Kruger's bench. Here's Archibald, native of Paisley, Scotland, right up with his first touch. Lewis running the break. Gets it back from Guyton.
Indiana showed a little offensive patience because I thought Guyton was going to take that one up.
Now out front, the matchup with Lewis.
So what they really want to do is get someone different on Hastings.
Archibald taking the turn now. 8 on the shot clock. Guyton with 5.
Oh, it got him.
Guyton, no problem with that behind the back move to lose the defense of Cleotis Brown and draw the contact inside on Brown, his first.
Brown's pretty good defensively. A.J. Guyton shakes him left behind the back. Brown couldn't do anything but grab, and he fouled on that one. With 4 seconds on the shot clock, so Indiana gets some new clock.
Might have to take Guyton in a one-on-one match with anybody else in the Big Ten.
Well, I think he'd be pretty solid. I don't think there's much question about that.
Newton short inside and fouls, going over the back, going for the offensive rebound. Championship week presented by 7-Up continues tonight in the AT&T Big East Championship at the Garden of New York. A look at the semifinal matchups. Georgetown, after upsetting #1 seed Syracuse, has UConn, Miami, and St. John's in the nightcap with the championship tomorrow at 8 Eastern, all on ESPN.
How about the Hoyas?
Warriors coming together at the right time.
They have. Kevin Braswell's played well for them. Boom Shea Boozer.
His name in college sports. Sean Harrington in for the first time, right up with a three-pointer and nails it.
That'll help open up the inside a little bit more for Illinois. They were having a tough time getting it inside. Now they got somebody making jump shots.
That's the lead in half, 15-12. Haston underneath for Lynn Washington, who just checks in.
Well, this group, you can see with Illinois, is a lot more active. I mean, they ran, I thought, 3 people at Haston, and that's the reason Washington was wide open.
Washington is starting most of the second half of the year, coming off the bench this afternoon, though. Luke Jimenez also is in off the bench. He covers Harrington. Brown more powerful than Hornsby. And they'll get Archibald over the back of Haston. 16 foul for the Illini, 11:44 the first half. Knights Hoosiers still in control. First quarterfinal in Chicago. Say what you want about the general, but the man knows how to make an entrance. A sneak attack from behind Sam Alford, reading Sam and Steve Alford when Iowa came in a couple of months ago. And then when he went to Northwestern, where they had some rough feelings last year, he soothed the crowd with free peppermints before the game.
That's a whole other side of Bob that I'm not quite familiar with.
Everybody wanted to know why did shake hands with Steve Alford at the Big Ten meeting this summer. Well, he shook hands with every single media person in the press room at Bloomington. By contrast, a very uneventful entry today at the United Center. Whistle inside and an offensive foul on Washington. His first with an elbow against Brian Cook. Hoosiers have held Illinois to 4 of 14 shooting, 29% and 5 turnovers. 2 of 10 from 2. Here's a 3, just off by Brown and captured by Lewis. Letting the break to Washington. Tough landing. And the blocking foul.
Yeah, Cook, there was no way he could get there in time, but the reason that the Fishers ran in quickly is because he took his legs from under him, and that's a little scary. The pass is there. You see Cook trying to run down court and establish. Pretty hard for him to get there. Unfortunately for Washington, he didn't get injured. He's all ready to go up. And Indiana is already in the bonus with 11:09 to go.
And Washington 68% from the line. late season highlights. The only basket he made in the entire Michigan State game in Bloomington won the game in overtime. He had 13 points, 12 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds in the home win over Purdue.
And those, when you talk to the staff, they'll tell you those are the best 2 games he's played in his short career at Indiana. Larry Richardson was lucky. You're right. You and I saw the same thing. Swinging elbows like that. It's lucky they didn't call him.
Richardson maybe a little pent-up energy. First appearance off the bench today, and he is called for the foul at this end.
Yeah, then the officials were paying particular attention because he got himself in a spot off the rebound. He'll come up with the rebound and watch. I mean, he swings it, and if he hits on the other end, there's no question that that's going to be a foul. So the officials are paying attention, and you see him lower that right shoulder right into the chest. He gets called for that foul.
Against Amir Krupalya. Sergio McClain is back. And McClain working on Dane Fife, who's just come in. Harrington bumped by Fife, and no call and no basket.
Harrington created the bump. That's why it's no call.
Lewis with the pull-up.
Ah, that's a tough shot. I mean, you want guys to pull up, but to be able to come to a dead stop and go straight up on a break is a tough shot.
Hoosiers' biggest lead now up to 8. And a whistle as soon as the Hoosiers set up their defense on Fife. Knight begging to differ with Art McDonald. 7th Indiana team foul, the first on Fife. Lucas Johnson coming back to Collier. Frank Williams for Harrington. Pleading his case now to Sam Licklider.
At this point, I think he's pleading his case to whomever will.
Yeah, any willing target.
Right, just make sure, get your point across. That is what that is.
Sergio McClain, one of the Illinois Mr. Basketball honorees out of Emmanuel High School in Peoria, 1997, where he helped his father Wayne to 4 straight Illinois state championships. Here's what Knight was upset about.
Playing defense right there. You know what? In this game, I agree. That's a no call.
Not much at all.
Yeah,
contact.
And the reason I don't think there's any call because there's no advantage created by it. I mean, Brown didn't seem to be bothered by it. If he'd been held up or something, or you knocked him off stride, you clearly want to make that call. He just kept on. Matter of fact, I don't think he even realized he was hit.
Jimenez in the 3-guard look with Fife and Guyton. Richardson and Washington down low. Larry Richardson, back of the iron. Cook snaps it.
Solid defense by Cook.
Is that a flange ball?
No. I'll give you a flange. I'll show you one.
All right. Learned about the flange ball yesterday from Quinn. Williams in the heavy crowd threw that one away. Fife ahead to Guyton. Johnson is back, and missing is A.J. Guyton.
Good head fake by Johnson, and then he throws the ball away, throwing it to Williams. But defensively, really solid play. Guyton got faked and off balance. You don't have to always get the block. Watch what he does. He fakes at Guyton, and Guyton thinks he's coming, so Guyton tries to jump into him and jumps past his mark where he wants to lay the ball up.
Oh, he's throwing away the outlet pass, though, and Fife gets this ball.
Now Lon Kruger is up, and I'm not sure that Lon Kruger doesn't have a legitimate argument, too. Because Dane Fife was just rolling through that.
This is second and Williams.
Dane Fife is going, and Cook is, it looks like he's there.
Kruger maybe with the first free throw no for Fife was 81%.
Probably the best defensive player on Indiana's team is Dane Fife. 6'4", and he's pretty tough.
Normally a much better free throw shooter than that. 4 of 17 for Illinois, 23.5%. They have 3 more turnovers than baskets. Always a recipe for disaster. And there's turnover number 8. Williams call for step. Championship week presented by 7-Up, continuing in the ACC today and tonight. To look at the quarterfinal matchups. Duke advanced past Clemson. NC and Wake Forest playing right now on ESPN. Maryland, Florida State, Virginia, NC State. Technical foul, Bob Knight. in an uproar after the technical, which will be shot by Corey Bradford.
That's Pat Knight, who's an assistant on the team, but he's Bob Knight's son as well. And of all the guys that can keep Bob Knight from going any further normally, it's Pat.
Well, it happened after the inbounds pass. Bradford hits both tees. Right there, Art McDonald heard something he didn't like.
Okay, I'm trying
to read his lips there.
I don't see it. The way he normally gets after officials, I don't see that as a yelling kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if he said the magic word or what.
That's what you wonder. McDonald obviously heard what he didn't want to hear. Brian Cook makes it a 4-point play for Illinois, and they cut it to 2.
I'll tell you what really happened with Art McDonald. He's been getting it from Lon Kruger and Bob Knight, and I'm sure Lon Kruger said something to make sure that, Art McDonald just pays attention to it on both sides.
By briefly open back door, can't hang on. 7th Indiana turnover. Lewis will come back for Richardson. Haston back. Fife leaving. Indiana has led by as many as 8, but on a line I come back down, a chance to tie or lead under 8.5 minutes. Bradford. Oh, Klein threw it right to Lewis.
I thought he had him too.
Another anticipation steal, and McLean gets it right back.
Good pursuit by McLean.
Williams feeding Cook. They challenge Haston inside, and a hell ball. Illinois has the error. Great hustle a minute ago by Sergio McLean.
Pursuit of the ball. Just because you lose it the first time, stay after it. Sergio McLean does that, gets the steal from Michael Lewis, and he'd come at the ball earlier on Michael Lewis, and Lewis lost sight of him.
This is a 6-0 Illini run. 3-point drive by Cook. And a foul underneath on Lucas Johnson. Little demonstrative as he protested, and Sam Lakeplatter gives him a good long look.
He's got to. I mean, you're not supposed to have that kind of reaction. But they're down under their battling. I'm not sure who had whom, but it's a shot right there taken by Brian Cook. And you can see both players are in the mist. And Johnson thought that time might have been one of the times he didn't hold first, but gets called for the foul.
Second on Lucas Johnson, but Indiana not taking very good advantage of their opportunities at the line. They're just 5 out of 9. Washington 2 for 3. As Krupalia comes in, and Johnson get a moment or two to cool down.
Well, I think he gets more than a moment or two. I'm not sure they can risk having Johnson get 3 fouls before the second half.
Washington hits both. 7:59 of the first half. Indiana 22-18. Quarterfinal action in Chicago. But Bob Knight still wondering what he got that technical for a minute or two ago from Art McDonald, and he went right to the source to ask during the timeout.
Well, he asked him what the technical was for. And then for those of you who are lip readers, you can see what the response is to the answer.
So we're heating up here with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Illinois trying to cut the lead from 4 inside to Cook for the turnaround, and he gets the roll as Bob Knight watches his team from the coaching box.
So what he's watching is Illinois get into an offensive rhythm. Didn't have it at all early in the half. They got it. They have it now, and they figured out the right combination also defensively, I think, as well. Good look.
Guyton moving without the ball.
He started to set a screen and got free.
5 for A.J. Guyton now. McClain spinning wide open. Brian Cook, who has 8.
And now, you know what, McClain, that's really what he tries to do. He tries to find a way to make you double team.
He's the only Illinois player with more than 1 field goal. He's got 4 of them. Jimenez. Guyton spins into a turnover to Cook. 2 on 2 here. McClain waiting for help. Williams with the pull-up 3.
And I see why McClain was really so good on the teams that they have in Peoria. He knows Frank Williams wants to shoot the ball, and he made a concerted effort to get the ball in position to get it back to Williams so he could get a shot.
High school teammates, Emmanuel. Along with Griffin. Haston, who had the good start, finds Jimenez backdoor.
McClain watching the ball.
First basket for the senior. Redwood Falls, Minnesota. Senior laden Indiana team. Best regular season in 7 years since 92-93 when they won 31 games. Wide open 3, misses everything by Williams. Krupolja misses the follow.
Williams was too wide open. I mean, he was waiting for, hoping somebody would run at him, I'm sure. You don't necessarily like those.
Williams drawing the Guyton assignment now. A.J. having more success now, moving without the ball and getting some shots.
They'll run, yeah, and then they'll change up and put either Bradford on him for a while, and they'll put McClain on him so he gets a number of fresh people to stay on him.
Washington moving on Krupolja. Bad luck. Get it out. Rebounded by Cook. So Illinois with a chance to lead.
And they've got to feel good about that because they really haven't played that well.
They were about as sloppy offensively as they were near perfect in the first game. First game they could do no wrong, just the opposite so far today. Cook, how did he miss that one? Point blank cleanup basket for the lead, no good, and a foul on McClain in the backcourt.
Yeah, it's a bad foul by McClain, but Cook, you're right, he had it point blank, and he really just didn't pop back up with strength to get it in, and that's what Lon Kruger's telling him. Go back and finish it. Watch him, he gets it. He'll be on the left side, and he gets it, does a good job becoming a rebounder, but he kind of just laces it up there instead of exploding back to the basket, and that's why he didn't finish it. And I think Lon Kruger feels that's probably tired legs because I look over and he has 3 aligned out ready to come in.
Haston at the line with 8 points, and the fresh bodies en masse coming in. It's Harrington, Brown, and Griffin for Illinois, and as Jimenez and Washington lead, Hortonsby back along with Newton. Haston really strong conference play. It misses both ends here. Newton snatches down the rebound.
Poor block out by the Illini.
Michael Lewis pass Bradford.
They had everybody on the right side, and Haston was going to post up on the other side, and Lewis got there first and got a layup.
Lead back to 3. We go on to the 5-minute mark. Just about packed at the United Center. They announced 17,741 yesterday, and a legitimate 20,000, 21,000, I would guess, here for this matchup with easy travel for both Indiana and Illinois fans. Griffin turns into a block and a foul on Haston. He can't believe it.
I think he has a legitimate gripe on that one. First of all, I think Griffin can get this ball in here and do almost anything he wants. Does Haston hit him on the hand?
Elbow.
Got him a little bit on the elbow, but that's not what I'd call. Lewis right there. See, Haston is coming to post. Then they cleared the side out, and Lewis just got there. He was just really motoring to get there.
Two on Haston. Griffin with McClain and Williams, known as the combination. Peoria Manual, 4 state titles. Griffin on to Lincoln College, where he was a JUCO Division II Player of the Year. Finally on to Champaign this year. Second point of the day. Back to a 2-point game as McClain rests.
You see they've got Cleotis Brown on Michael Lewis to try to keep him from going where he needs to go.
Cross-court pass off Newton right to Guyton.
Indiana was really lucky on that.
They lived right a couple times.
Line tightening up their defense. Indiana have a tougher time getting the ball where they want to get it.
Guyton past Harrington, the high floater, rebounded by Newton. Not much of a follow attempt and allowed to go out of bounds by Bradford. Illinois ball. Coming up Sunday, 6:30. ESPN will have the men's selection special, a full hour and a half, hosted by Chris Fowler. Dick and Dicker Quinn will be there with Michelle Tafoya for the most in-depth breakdown of the men's brackets you'll find. 6:30 Sunday, ESPN. All questions become answered.
Yeah, including the one who gets the #1 seed and where does Cincinnati go as Bradford knocks down. Did they give him a 3-point on that?
That was a long two-pointers. First field goal ties it at 28. Lewis offensive foul.
That's a good call.
His second.
He lowered the shoulder right into him. Lewis has had success going to his left. Watch right here. No question about it. Good defensive position. Lewis gets the call against him.
The 11th Indiana turnover. 28 all in Chicago.
The following message.
Welcome back to Chicago, where we have a tied ball game, Indiana and Illinois. When you're playing basketball, you get opportunities to slip the pick. The picker can get open. If you get an opportunity right here, A.J. Guyton is going to come out and set the pick right there. Now, if the defense both go that way, you slip it by going to the basket, and that's what happens. Watch. That's called slip the pick. He goes inside. Good look by Jimenez to get him the ball. But just understand, if you set the pick, more often than not, you're the guy that controls the play and can get open and possibly even get a basket.
All of which happened for Guyton that time. Tough shot. Marcus Griffin gives Illinois the lead.
Yeah, I said from the time he's got the ball, I think he can do anything he wants on anybody he wants on Indiana's team in the post. Because they let him get the ball and he's stronger.
Baston back out during that break, replaced by Richardson. Hornsby guarded by Cleotis Brown, who got a piece of that one right into the hands of Hornsby for the follow.
Boy, he got a break because I thought he took a bad shot. The ball came back to him.
3-minute mark, tied at 30. Rupolya right back to Griffin. You're right. He can do anything.
I'd be repetitive if I said it anymore.
I'll just chime in.
Go right ahead because I'd milk that one. Especially if they get into him quick, Indiana has no time to double team him.
6 for Griffin. Guyton in and out, bumped by Harrington. That might have been 3 free throws. But a no call. Guyton just 2 of 8.
See, the difference is Jeffrey Newton is not strong as Marcus Griffin. So if Newton tries to get position, they can either move him or Richardson off the block.
Real tight defense by Harrington. He knocks it out in the corner.
Griffin has such good body, and this is why they wanted him back in the lineup. Richardson forces him behind the basket, still good enough to get it to go in. Then he gets it quick on the fast break, and you can see not much that Richardson can do with that one.
Guyton looks through traffic, off Rupolya, easy to Richardson. Oh, look what I found for the Hoosiers.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't think that's a design play, that's for sure.
That's how they've got their last 4 points. Griffin, well defended that time by Newton. Best shot blocker for Indiana taking a turn on Marcus Griffin. Richardson in a crowd, and he'll shoot 2. We are coming up on the 7-Up halftime report. And we will check in on Ed Cota and Carolina in the ACC tournament. The brunch time brackets, and Digger Phelps weighing in on the heartbreaking injury yesterday costing Cincinnati the services of Kenyon Martin. That's coming up at minute 51. Corey Bradford called for his second foul. Larry Richardson, a 53% free throw shooter.
Yeah, we were talking about, what it means with Kenyon Martin out, and unfortunately for his college career, that's done. And unfortunately for Cincinnati, I think that moves them down to 3 or 4.
Really? Not just a second seed.
If you move them to a second seed, you're saying they're one of the top 8 teams in the country without Kenyon Martin, who's the player of the year. If you move them to a 3rd seed, you're saying that now they may be one of the top 12, 15. they moved down considerably.
With him, they beat St. Louis last week by 43. Without him, they lost to the Billikens by 10 yesterday.
And the benefit of the doubt in that one, maybe they were shocked by the dramatic incident. But I agree with you. When it's that big of a difference, and then they lose to the team, I think it says a little bit more about who the team really is without him. And mind you, Huggins says this is the guy that puts people in position, and they have 2 freshman guards that play a lot for him.
Well, maybe if they drop him down that low, they still keep him in the Midwest, let him play in Cleveland. Midwest 3rd and 4th rounds in Detroit. Final 4, Indianapolis. There'll be some easy travel involved, but all bets off right now for Cincinnati. Richardson in deep, off the back iron, fouled on the rebound by Brian Cook.
The thing that worked very well for Illinois and Lon Kruger is the ability to get the ball down quickly. Indiana does the same thing. Richardson posts up quickly, gets the ball, it goes softly on the rim, it comes off, he gets it back. Over the top for the foul is Brian Cook. And Larry Richardson hurt his hand. You can see he's holding it. He got his hand, it's taped already, and he got popped on it. I didn't think hard, but he got popped on it nonetheless.
Indiana, during the season, the 3rd best free throw shooting team in the Big Ten today. 7 out of 15, they are in the double bonus. That's what happened to Richardson's hand.
When he goes for the rebound, you can see he comes out of it right away holding that right hand.
Cook got him on that reach from behind. Still trying to shake it up.
All right, everybody, one time straight in.
Last year in the quarterfinals, 19 points, one of his better games in an Indiana uniform. Indiana falling to Illinois. 82-66, Illini beating 3 ranked teams in succession last year. Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio State by 2 in the semis before falling out of energy and luck against Michigan State 67-50. This call in the middle of the lane on Jeffrey Newton.
They won as many games in the Big Ten tournament as they did the entire Big Ten regular season.
Michigan State waiting for him in the championship game with a springboard all the way to the Final 4. Corey Bradford just unconscious the entire tournament. 17 of 29 threes last year. That foul on Hornsby rather than Newton, and McClain on the line in the double bonus for Illinois. All 3 of his points from the free throw line. He ties it at 33. Illinois 8 for 11. Indiana 7 of 16 on free throws. As big a story as any in this first half.
I think as much as anything is Illinois has been able to find a combination to get themselves back in the game, because they were very close to getting themselves not blown out, but putting themselves in the deep hole they couldn't have gotten out of.
Guyton now from the point, guarded by Williams. 53 seconds and a half. Newton against Archibald. And back up, Lewis to Guyton, his 3-pointer over the top. Lucas Johnson has come back with 2 fouls.
I think that's pretty interesting. They're hoping that Lon Kruger's hoping he can get away with it, because Johnson's going to be in the middle of, if there's contact, Johnson's going to be in the middle, and he should have been a beneficiary there of a foul, because he got pushed down by Larry Richardson.
That should have been Richardson's second. Illinois with a timeout. Talk things over for the final 36.4 of the half.
The local wine shop.
Chicago landmark, the John Hancock Building. Not too terribly far from the United Center, where we're enjoying the first of our quarterfinals in the Big Ten. Tight one between Indiana and Illinois going on. That's followed at 3 Eastern here on ESPN2 by the Penn State-Ohio State matchup. Buckeyes top seeded. ESPN Plus will have Michigan State, Iowa, and then we're back here on the Deuce at 10 Eastern for Purdue and Wisconsin. 36.4 seconds. first half here, and a 1-point lead and the ball for the Illini.
They don't have Marcus Griffin on the floor because I thought he would be the guy they'd have on the floor because they can post him. I mean, just on the offensive end, they run a back cut to McClain, and he gets it and he finishes it.
A well-used timeout for Lon Kruger to get McClain the easy two. Illinois has not led by more than this. 3-point margin with 11 seconds.
Well, they need a double team A.J. Guyton.
Jimenez.
Oh, they just for travel.
I thought that was 3 on Lucas Johnson.
I did too. I was pretty certain that's what that was.
Jimenez for steps instead. 12 Indiana turnovers. 14 their average. 4 seconds.
Williams is good at getting it down at this time.
Harrington at the buzzer, just off.
Got partially blocked by A.J. Guyton.
So the Illini fight back from 8 down to lead by 3 at the half. 36-33.
After 20 years of marriage, I got
Nine missed free throws by Indiana. Big story, as well as 12 turnovers, costing them 10 Illinois points. Marcus Griffin, in just 6 minutes, had 6 points. Cook leads with 8. Haston leads Indiana with 8.
Indiana has to find some way to get Guyton a couple of more looks. He actually was 2 of 9, so he may have had enough looks, but he's got to get looks that are unencumbered if they're going to have a chance. And inside, they need some more help, with the exception of Haston. No one has really stepped forward, and that's the kind of thing they've got to figure out how to get going if they're going to have any success in this game.
Guyton only 3 at the half, and that's what he finished with back on February 22nd. Well, again, what a generous move Bob Knight finds himself in. I believe that's some of the peppermints that the Northwestern crowd was treated to.
In a giving spirit.
From 52-28, which was the halftime score of that first meeting. Major progress by Indiana, but major progress will be needed in a couple of areas in this second half if they are to advance. Hoosiers try to get Haston a shot inside. Illinois was ready with a double team, and Guyton loses his footing and throws it away.
Good defense that time by Sergio McClain. Both from Peoria, Illinois, has an idea of what A.J. Guyton likes to do on the right side of the court. Guyton threw it away.
Guyton from Central High School in Peoria. Never beat that group from Manual in 6 tries.
If you're playing against a group that's winning 4 straight state championships, hard to do that by yourself.
Not a lot of help for A.J. Frank Williams. This is that leaner in the lane and out of bounds to Indiana. First time in the history of this tournament they've had to sell standing room tickets for this morning session. Great interest in the Indiana-Illinois matchup.
Yeah, well, I think it's becoming not only in that matchup, but the tournament is starting to get more interest. I thought yesterday was a better turnout than we had when we first got here, and I think it just continues to improve.
Lewis with the missed 3. Illinois, no strangers here in the United Center, where they are 9-4 all time. This is their 3rd game here this year. They lost by 3 to Duke very early, 72-69, and beat Kansas here by 14. That on Kirk Haston, number 3. As we mentioned, A.J. Guyton at Peoria Central played the 3 Manual players 3 times his senior year. First meeting the best, game tie closing seconds, A.J. misfiring, and then at the other end, Sergio McClain with the miss. Marcus Griffin there for the putback, and Manual wins it by that margin, 60-58, despite 21 points from A.J. Guyton.
And that doesn't count the countless number of times these guys have played together, just pick up basketball, that Bob Knight looks as his team picks up another foul.
The last foul not on Haston, who they first pointed to. Hornsby and Newton picked these 2 up.
And they just called McClain for that one.
That will be Sergio's 2nd. Sergio McClain would remember this well, as Central took that 2-point win. He had 9. Didn't shoot great, did he? 4 of 16. Griffin 11 of 14.
thing about Sergio McClain, though, Frankie, he's never going to be considered a good shooter. He's a big, strong body that may be able to get into the paint and create things for his team, and defensively he's solid, but he's not a shooter. That's just not, you can see in the way he shoots the ball, that's just not one of the things he does. But it doesn't mean he doesn't contribute.
Jeffrey Newton scoreless so far. Guyton not even close that time. So A.J. Guyton 2 for 10 has turned it over 4 times. Illinois, meanwhile, just had their first turnover in 9+ minutes. Williams off the glass, tipped over to Haston.
And Newton got away with that one there because Brian Cook had position and Newton moved him just as he jumped.
Knocked out by Williams, deep corner. Well, Illinois continues to do a job on Guyton. 1 of 5 in that first game, 2 of 10 in this one. Terrorizes the rest of the league and knifes in for that layup.
Well, he was able to come off the out of bounds, and he normally comes over the top. He came underneath, and McClain fell asleep.
First basket for Guyton since 7:27 was left in the first half.
But the other reason I think Illinois plays A.J. Guyton well is they have a number of guys they can put on him with a lot of different looks. Tough
McClain hits a real tough one.
Put his body in between. That time it was Hornsby and shot the ball over the top of Newton.
Sergio did not play in their regular season windup against Northwestern with a twisted left knee. Obviously, he's okay. Twisting inside to get the three-point opportunity here is Newton finally on the board.
With a heck of a pass from Lewis that he throws from almost the half-court line in order to get it to Newton. And that's what makes the play. I mean, he throws this, he whips it, and he's almost at half-court line before the defense realized the ball's coming. Newton has it, and it's going to the basket and got fouled.
Third foul on Johnson. Newton has the three-point play. And Lucas Johnson having to depart after picking up number 3.
Well, he departed, but they also had to unhitch him, if you will. He and Haston were locked up.
Scoreless. Lucas Johnson sitting, replaced by Demir Krupolya. Indiana ties it at 38. Krupolya, the wide open 15-footer, his first 2.
Full communications on the forward down there, and Krupolya watched 2 guys leave him, and he knocked down a jump shot.
High school ball, Rockford, Illinois, after fleeing Sarajevo 8 years ago and spending 3 years in the Czech Republic, moved to the U.S. in '95. Cuts in front of Haston for the steal. Krupolya immediately contributes. Cook held off by Newton. Offensive rebound. Put back Krupolya.
Great play. He's made 2 in successive offensive possessions for the Illini,
which has its biggest lead at 4. Down by as many as 8 first half.
He got a charge just there. Hornsby out of control and just charged. Krupolya picked it up.
4th foul on Kyle Hornsby, who got his first career start today and replaced by Fife with 16-12 still to go, number 4.
Got himself in a position where he tried to do too much.
McClain now guarded by Fife. Ryan Cook
bailed out Sergio McClain. He threw the ball in the air, and Cook was so big he went to get it, and Cook's right around the hole.
6'10 freshman, 10 points. Brian Cook. The Illini fans feeling it now with a 6-point lead. Newton counted and 1. Jeffrey Newton can go for another 3-point play. Number 3 on Cook.
Getting to the basket with A.J. Guyton, and the first thing you got to do. Now Newton's starting to get them the inside play that in the first half they were getting much more so from Haston.
At Illinois, 6 of 6 from the field for his career-high 17 points. 6 quick ones here in the second half for Newton, who cuts the lead to 3. Ryan Cook in Illinois, though, with a good start to the second half. 15:41 to go in Chicago.
I'm Chris, and I lost 120 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Listen up, guys. Want to shed a few pounds? Got a beer belly going on? Can't fit into your pants? Then you need Nutrisystem for men.
I'm Essex, and I lost 43 pounds on Nutrisystem.
I'm Trevor, and I lost 60 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Lose 15 pounds and 7 inches in your first month. Lose weight fast. Money back guarantee. Real guys, real results.
I'm Michael, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Put down the pie, pick up the phone, and get with the program today. Get 1 week of all new NutriCrush bars free and 1 week of Turbo Shakes free.
The food was delicious.
If you're like me and you like to eat, this is what you get to do.
This is perfect for men, especially guys who don't want to cook.
So get off the couch, call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in FedEx shipping. Free! Lose 15 pounds and 7 inches in your first month.
It's not that hard. You eat the food, you lose the weight.
Go online or
Illinois by 3, right where they were at the half.
Got him back.
Williams to Krupalja, who gets a good 2 steps ahead of Kirk Hastings.
What they've taken advantage of is in the timeouts, Indiana make sure they get their guys up to pressure the ball for the receivers to deny. And they did it once with McClain, and they just did it with Krupalja out of a timeout for back cut.
And Krupalja rebounds Hastings, gets fouled by Lewis. He has single-handedly turned this game around since coming in after Lucas picked up his 3rd foul.
Watch, they ball faking. The ball fakes makes Hastings go one way, Krupalja goes the other. Williams with a dime pass, and you can see Krupalja get it just over the rim.
6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals for Demir Krupalja.
And he took a charge on Kyle Hornsby that got Hornsby his 4th foul.
Equally big.
He's feeling it now. You can see he's trying to make it moves off the dribble.
Gave it up, called for it back. Instead, it's Williams missing the 3-pointer. Lewis lets it go. Lucas Johnson picked up his 3rd foul, and things picked up at that point for Illinois.
Yeah, what Bob Knight knows that Lucas Johnson always helps them do a lot of the little things, and picking up that foul, they got Krupalja in. The thing's been interesting about Illinois. Bradford's just 1 of 6. I mean, he really hadn't done a whole lot. They've been able to get scoring from other people.
Newton in and out. Griffin the board.
They got him here.
Bradford running the floor for the reverse.
Heck of a pass by Frank Williams.
Perfect strike, and it's Illinois by 7, stretching the lead again to its largest point. 7 points, Bradford. Quick turnaround, Hastings. Back of the iron again. Krupalja the rebound again. 6th board. McClain starts the penetration. Bradford, Krupalja, and he'll go to the line. Demir has been a busy man since he came in just a couple of minutes ago.
They like what he does. He does a lot of good things for them. Anticipation is one of them. Anticipates that one, gets on the glass, gets him not only an extra possession, but gets the basket. Gets out, knocks down the jump shot, back cuts right there. So he's been very active for them with Lucas Johnson in foul trouble. Krupalja, you rightly stated, has changed the complexion of the game.
1 more free throw coming. Not a good free throw shooter this year. 52%. Missed a lot of time with a sprained big toe. Illinois had a series of injuries up and down their roster during the year. Finally healthy now. He misses them both, though. McClain had been a question mark. He didn't practice Monday or Tuesday, but he's fine today after that twisted left knee. Open 3 for Lewis. Even that won't fall. Newton for Fife, and guess who wrestles it away from Dane Fife and out of bounds off Krupalja.
Well, Krupalja was on the ground. I think what happens, the ball basically dropped off of him out of bounds, and he's complaining, I think, that Dane Fife was a little overly aggressive there. The ball comes short. You see right there, Newton gets it, and he drops it to Dane Fife. And you can see, Dane Fife was holding him. I see what he's talking about. He definitely knocked it out. Krupalja knocked it out, but Dane Fife held him. And Krupalja gets called for the foul.
Even before the inbounds pass is thrown. His first. Lucas Johnson ready to come back in.
This is a good substitution by Lon Kruger. Skripal, starting to lose his focus.
He leaves with an ovation from the Illini faithful here. As well he should.
Yeah, he was playing well, and then he complained about the foul, and then he gets a foul with with no action really going on. You know then he's lost his control.
Watch the left side of your screen here. Shoved from behind by Lewis.
Oh, he got hammered, no doubt about that.
Leotis Brown has also come in for Illinois. On a 10-3 run, Guyton, the straight on three, not there. Bradford takes it away from his teammate Griffin.
That is just a horrible shot. That is a guy desperate to get something to go down. He's 3 of 12.
Second straight bad game for A.J. Guyton against Illinois. That shot off by Bradford.
A.J. Guyton has to find a way to get himself to the foul line to be able to get in it. If you're a jump shooter,
you can
keep shooting jump shots, but you need to get to the foul line.
Second three, 10 points. On 4 of 13 now for Guyton with his mother Rhonda Ruffin in the stands, and a quick whistle against Illinois on this end.
Leotis Brown got that one with Dane Fight. That's his second.
Even before they can get set, he's called for the offensive foul.
I'm sure he was doing a little prep work before the ball got to him.
Right, prepping Guyton for when he returns next. Luke Jimenez in form right now, but Guyton right back to the scores table will come in next dead ball. Newton penetrates, draws the blocking foul.
Well, the conversation with Bob Knight with A.J. Guyton is don't try to take this on your shoulders by yourself. Use your teammates. And then you got a senior out there, so that seniors will want to do it because this is technically their team, but you can't try to go by yourself.
Guyton back for Fife. And Sean Harrington will replace Frank Williams. Guyton spots a wide open Newton.
Communication breakdown on the inside. Newton gets open and has been the interior player for Indiana, who's down 2 points now.
Newton with 8 all this second half, and they've cut it to 2 from 7. Not that long ago it was a 7-point Illini lead. Brown pulls up on Jimenez and scores. One of only 2 Illinois seniors. Knighton jackknifes in, no whistle, no bucket either.
Yeah, he didn't get himself under control, but he was making the right play.
Headlong dive that time by Michael Lewis to knock that one out of bounds. Five coming back for Jimenez. It's a senior-laden Indiana team. Washington, Lewis, Guyton, Richardson, Jimenez.
One of the reasons they were able to have such a good 2 out of 3 when they played against Purdue, Michigan State, and they didn't quite get Wisconsin, but because they got seniors, your seniors know what it takes to make those kind of plays.
Leotis Brown not quite on the 3. Not many chances to run this half. Indiana ran early pretty well.
And in the halftime they were told Illinois to get back.
Griffin swatting that effort by Kirk Haston out of bounds. 11:36 to go. Illinois by 4. It started rough, and it may be getting rougher as the second half wears on in the United Center.
The local wine shop.
.46 Illinois after the timeout, a miss by Michael Lewis. Haston back up. Strong follow.
It was a strong foul. They're just letting them play inside. You like to see these young people go at it. They were showing Carolina that was field forward. Carolina has had it that kind of way all year, not able to put it together.
Indiana cuts it to 2. Harrington.
That's where they can go, right here.
Inside feed, Griffin.
I'm telling you, all day long, they can go there.
And we got another heap, and guess who's at the bottom?
Oh, Johnson is in the middle of it. There's no question about that. Well, Johnson will make sure if he doesn't get it, you don't have much chance to get it. Get a chance to take a look here. Griffin gets it nice step through. Washington takes Johnson down, and then Fife falls on top.
This guy is always in the middle of the pileups.
Yeah, but you like to play with people like that.
We love to play with him. Hate to play against him. Hastings saved through the legs of Griffin. Lewis steps on the sideline.
Good officiating right on top of it. Because you're right, it would have been a decent play for Hastings. But the official's right there.
Donnie Gray with this call. He was right in front of it.
That left foot looks to be out of bounds, and you can see that right away that Lewis knew it. He just stole the ball, but Lewis knew it because he put his foot back.
Lewis strips it, then gets fouled by Harrington. Right there, Donnie Gray looking right down that line and sees the toe hit the strike.
Listen, the real giveaway is he moves his foot. If he doesn't move his foot, then he knows he's inbound, but he's trying to say, you didn't see that, did you? Try to be invisible all of a sudden.
Well, he got it right back from Harrington, caused the foul. Now in the bonus with 10:36 still to go. Lewis, 1 of 3. It is up and down the roster. They have been infected by bad free throw shooting today. 9 of 19 free throw shooting for Indiana. 3rd best in the league during the year, 71%.
Oh, Griffin wide open.
Griffin found him. Back of the iron on 3. And Indiana with numbers. Guyton in the middle. Bumped by Harrington. Trapped and has to call timeout.
Good transition defense on the part of the Illini just to get back. Because Guyton had Harrington and he thought he could beat him. Guyton tries to come down. There's contact, but they let him play. And Guyton stays with it. And then here you can see the double team coming. And he calls timeout.
Guyton has had his difficulties getting shots off against these Illini before. Going back to the high school days at Central High. Had a few swatted away. McLean and now Griffin taking the turn.
Guyton was going into his bag of tricks. Griffin was waiting on that move.
Not an enjoyable flashback for AJ. But they get together and play pickup ball in the summer. Bragging rights no doubt come into the conversation. Illinois trying to sweep Indiana this year. 4-point lead, 10 to go second half. Harrington staying on Guyton pretty well.
Got him wide open.
Waits for Williams to clear space and hits the 3.
Well, he got a ball fake. He was wide open and Williams had to fly at him. So Guyton ball faked him out.
Pass too tall for Griffin. Lewis underneath for Lynn Washington. Awfully crowded under there. Swatted away to Guyton.
Good defense by Illinois.
Trapped. Washington, but a whistle. Foul before the shot.
If you're going to score and you're the primary scorer on the team, you have to stay active and move. You see, Guyton gets free right here, and Williams has to recover, so he ball faked him out of position. And nobody else could get there in time. Harrington came, but it was too late. Guyton gets this kind of look. It's normally good. He gets his feet set, he's square, knocks it down.
Lynn Washington with the first. 6th point. The thing about Guyton is he can go 0 for 15 and still hit the one shot that wins the game. We saw him do it against Temple last year.
He's a shooter, and shooters shoot. That's what they do.
They are not shooting free throws very well today, however. Again, 1 of 2. Chance to lead goes awry, 52 all. Griffin overthrowing Brown. Team turnover for Kruger. 14-6 though in favor of Illinois in points off turnovers. Much more even than that first contest, as is the game, as we expected. Don't beat Indiana too often back-to-back by 24. Washington can't hang on. Lost it out of bounds.
Guyton tried to do what Bob Knight has told him not to do everything himself, but he's got to get some help. Washington's got to come up with that ball.
Ball away, Cleotis, Brown nails it.
That was a tough shot. A fade across, fade away.
Had it in mind as soon as he touched the ball. 7 points for Brown.
What he had in mind is he was getting a shot up. You could see that look.
Harrington, and sticking tight on Guyton. Straight on 3. Little long, and look what I found. Follow jam by Newton. Jeffrey Newton, the story of the second half for Indiana. All 10 of his points since halftime. Another tie at 54. 6 rebounds, 5 offensive for Newton. Illini right back though. Harrington. Got 5 off the bench. Played for his dad, Jim, Elgin High School, where he set 62 school records. Guyton just cannot get the rhythm today. Newton another offensive rebound.
So they have kind of a smaller lineup in there. That's one of the reasons they're going to come back in pretty soon. But Cook helps in that lineup. Brown is not quite big enough.
Timeout, Lon Kruger. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 6 on the offensive glass for Newton.
Newton found out in the first half that it was going to be a difficult game. Second half, he's been in the right place at the right time. That's off a kind of a lost rebound, and he's able to get a finish here. Guyton takes a shot. Newton has inside position, goes up strong with Brown behind him, and gets the putback. See, Brown has no chance to get the rebound. He's smaller, and there's nothing he can do to keep Newton from putting it in the basket.
Jeffrey Newton, freshman out of Atlanta, one of the top 10 prospects in Georgia, showing us why he was so highly regarded. His second big day against the Illini. He's tied it at 56, 7:39 remaining. Berth in the semifinals tomorrow, awaiting the winner. We'll play the winner of the Ohio State-Penn State game, which follows. Cook draws contact and will shoot 2.
It's one of the reasons they don't really play Griffin and Cook together, because you can it's easier to post when you've got the freedom of posting somebody like Ryan Cook, who knows what he's doing on the block. That Griffin can get a break. So you've got 2 fresh, low post players.
Newton picks up his 3rd foul. Cook is 60% at the free throw line. Dad Norm, great player at Kansas, and then on to the Boston Celtics. Ryan, Illinois Mr. Basketball last year, and a McDonald's All-America. 11 points for Cook. Newton, their big problem to solve, though, the second half with 7:25 to go. He's the reason Indiana's down by just 1. Only down 1, and your Big Ten Player of the Year is 5 of 18.
He finds a way. If he works, he's going to have to see a lot of different looks playing against the Illini. You see right there, Harrington really solid. Griffin coming over. Gets a lot of attention when you're the Big Ten Player of the Year. You get looks, you better find time to knock them down. Nice little ball fake. And that's because you get enough touches. You just keep shooting it until you finally put it down.
5 of 18, 3 for 9 on threes, brings it up with a chance to take the lead for Indiana with 7:15 to go. First appearance of the day by Jared Odell, and immediately he's fouled by Sergio McClain, his third, team's 9th. Sunday on ABC Sports, Jeff Gordon looking to defend his title at the Cracker Barrel Old Country Store 500 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 1 Eastern on Sunday. For more, log on to ESPN.com. 6'8" sophomore from Converse, Indiana, Jared Odell.
Bob Knight trying to do whatever he can to get someone inside to give him some play, because Newton has played well, and I think he knows that that's going to wear out. So either Hastings got to go, and he's taking Washington out of the game, and Richardson just didn't play well.
Hoosiers have their first lead of the second half. So they go to 3 big, and the guards of Lewis and Guyton.
This is who I'm waiting to take this.
Radford, not close. 2 for 11. You can sympathize with Guyton. Knocked away from Haston. Looked clean, but it's called on Williams.
The only reason I would question whether it's clean, if you hit them clean, they normally go down. If the ball goes up, it usually means you got a hand on the arm. See, that's clear. He got his hand on his right arm. That's why the ball goes up, because he loses the grip.
Good call, Donnie Gray. Only 2 this half for Haston. Foul on Williams was his third, and Indiana now in the double bonus. Finally improving their free throw percentage, which has been horrible all day. A lead of 3.
I got to go to Brian Cook. Get it down on the post and see what you get.
Turns on Haston, but Newton was there to help out.
The Indiana knows they're going there too. You're right. Newton happened to be there because he had Haston beat.
Well, the biggest lineup Knight has gone to today. Good job on the defensive end. Haston just inside the 3-point arc, can't get that one. Indiana just 38% from the field today. Best scoring, best shooting team in the league. Cook right back up.
Does a good job coming up with a tough shot that Williams took.
13, 8 boards for Brian Cook. Odell for Haston, ran out of room, lost it out of bounds.
They're saying he lost it out of bounds. It looked to me like it got hit or blocked.
'18th turnover by Indiana.
And that's hard to overcome too.
4 more than their average. Outscored 16-6 off turnovers. Not there for Cook. Krupalya has come back in. Made things happen the first time he came in the second half. Kruger goes to him again. All alone for 3. Guyton missing even that one. Newton battling Krupalya, wins the battle. Guyton now straight on against Williams.
They've got to find a way to get somebody in the offense because they've had Haston open and Guyton's being well guarded. That's why Lewis takes that.
His first 3-pointer.
He had to take it because he had nowhere else to go with it. Guyton was cut off and Haston didn't look like he wanted the ball.
Boy, a very slow developing possession produces the 3 and Indiana up 4. Brian Cook, 15-footer, and he nails it.
That's why you like Cook. Post up, he can step out, knock down 15, 16-footers, and he can put it on the floor.
Well, imagine him another year or 2 of development.
In 2 years, he'll be a very solid player. Good anticipation. I thought Williams had it.
18 on the shot clock for Guyton. Odell against McClain. Newton, McClain switches off on him. And Krupalja ends up with a rebound. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Williams and Bradford. Williams, hard foul, hard landing. Guyton, though, hops right back up.
Well, it's a good call by the official, because Guyton, I think, used the shoulder of Williams to get the block. But he went after the ball. That's why it's not an intentional foul. Williams gets it. He goes strong. See, Guyton gets up. No question about the contact.
Question was going to be if anybody gets hurt landing.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was the question, because both of them got their feet knocked from under them.
Williams 80% from the line this year. His first trip today. He'll have one more. Cleotis Brown checking in from McLean. Second one is there. Back to a one-point game. 3:51 remaining. Huge three home to go by Michael Lewis, who, by the way, is one assist away from tying a kid named Buckner at the Indiana all-time assist record.
Montel here. So what?
Before an SRO crowd at the United Center, led by one. Indiana 63-62, 3:51 remaining. Michael Lewis's four-year quest almost complete. He is one behind that Buckner kid. Had himself a fairly decent career, won a championship in '76 on the alley, and Kent Benson on the oop in the finals in Philadelphia against Michigan. Back in the day.
My, that uniform looks a little different than it would look today. And I don't mean just the length of the shorts.
Wonder if his mom knows. Kathy Lewis, Jasper, Indiana. One to tie, two for the sole ownership of that career Indiana assist record.
I didn't own it. I was renting it. It was doomed to be somebody else's.
After 24 years, I would hope you owned it outright. That's a long time to pay rent.
Yeah, you're right. Interest was pretty expensive on that one.
Krupalja roll for his second. Double bonus. Haston 4 for 6. Well points. Indiana from the free throw line today is 14-15 now for 26.
Lon Kruger's group with 3:40 to go has plenty of time to do what they need to do. They just got to come down and be patient. They can look at any point on the inside and get Cook his look. I'm still waiting for Bradford to get going.
Hoosiers finally hitting the free throws when they need them here. They've made 6 in a row, and they come down with quick foul called. 4 on Lewis.
Lewis is playing defense and gets through. And the official calls a foul.
He's trying to fight through and stay on his man. Frank Williams, front end. Not there, rebounded by Ogle. Lewis with 4 fouls. Hornsby's been sitting for a long time with 4.
Well, they've gone to the bigger lineup you were right about, so that's one reason Hornsby is down. A tough shot by A.J. Guyton.
Quite that time. In and out. 3-on-1 break. Brown to Williams. Pass Guyton for the 2.
Good. I thought that Brown showed us some real good discretion there by who he got the ball to.
The Illini back within 1 under the 3-minute mark.
Lions D is picked up too.
Williams crowding Lewis. Yeah. Bradford all over Guyton.
They're crowding the receivers for the most part.
But Haston pops free and he gets the roll.
How about that for Indiana? He steps out, knocks down the jump shot from the perimeter. He has range, but you don't normally expect him to be quite that far out.
16 points for Haston. He leads the Indiana scorers. Williams outside. Knew where that was headed, though. He beats Lewis to the rebound.
Yeah, he should have, because Lewis was watching the ball.
Kruger gets timeout call. Illinois has missed 9 straight three-pointers, and they're only 3 of 16 for the day. Yet it may come down to a 3 to decide this game. Let's look at the Big Ten quarterfinal matchups today. Winner here takes on the winner of the next game, Ohio State, Penn State. Will follow about 20-25 minutes after this one winds up here on ESPN2. And then tonight, Michigan State takes on Iowa, which knocked off Minnesota yesterday. That's on ESPN Plus at 7:30 Eastern. And the nightcap at 10 Eastern back here on the Deuce. Third-seeded Purdue against 6th-seed Wisconsin, which eliminated Northwestern last night. Both head coaches knew, and Kruger really emphasizing the fact that he thought Indiana and Illinois were playing not just to advance in this tournament, but for a seed in the NCAA tournament when that comes out Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty much everybody pretty much understands where Ohio State and Michigan State, and to some degree where Purdue is. But Indiana and Illinois are teams that came at different times during the year. Illinois struggled early and then started to put it together, and I thought it really culminated, as you said, they played their best game against Indiana in Champaign. Tough shot.
Bradford fouled and will shoot 3 free throws. Guyton got it.
He's shooting 3. You got a guy shooting. He had nowhere to go with this. Oh, not even close. I mean, it's a foul. Guyton made a bad decision because he's taking the shot, and he really wasn't that anxious to take it. I didn't see him go up strong, and he gets 3 foul shots.
Well, that streak is in some serious jeopardy. He made 5 three-pointers at 26 points in the first meeting, and now it's Illinois that can't hit the free throws. Indiana's settled it down.
By the looks of that one, he'll make this one. Because that ball he shot went down in and came out, so he had a real good stroke.
3 of 10 this half by the Illini at the line. Bradford gets 2 of the 3. 9 points today. Bradford, remember, had more three-pointers than anybody in the league this year, 84. Only needed 1 today to tie a school record of 85 set last year. Odell shovels it inside, and Kruponia takes it from Haston. A chance to lead it with 1:47. Bradford.
He was right there. He thought it was down, too.
Lewis playing with 4 fouls. Has tied the record. 7 assists. He's at 5:42. 1 more to own it outright. Under a minute and a half.
Well, he deserves it.
Haston looking low.
Hey, see, I'm telling you, Illinois' defense has been much better here at this stage.
Off Newton or Bradford?
They're going to foul. No, they're going to call foul.
Ronnie Gray with the call on Corey Bradford, his 3rd. For a hold.
But Newton has inside position, and you can see right now, you can see he's got his arm, and the official did a good job in recognizing that.
Newton 2 for 2 today. For the year, only 49%. And they've made 6 straight after a horrible beginning. 7 straight now. First half, Indiana led by up to 8. They trailed by up to 7. Newton can put them up 3 with 1:16.
Well, we thought this was going to be a well-fought game, and neither team has been able really to run away from the other.
69-66. Another timeout by the Illini. Their next to last timeout. A little early. They don't have to get a 3, but if they do, keep in mind, on the afternoon, 3 of 17 on three-point shots for the Illini, 18%. Good start to the quarterfinal round today in the United Center.
It has been. It's been a well-fought game. I don't think Illinois has to look at 3s. I think here you get a good shot, you hold. You've got plenty of time for that. Indiana has really struggled on the offensive end. They got to break down here just to get Newton to the foul line. So at this point, you would expect your seniors to be the ones to lead you from here. Guyton needs to look to get his shot. They don't have as many seniors necessarily on Illinois' team. but I think they can go anytime they want with Brian Cook.
Next up, the Nittany Lions against top-seeded Ohio State. Penn State eliminated Michigan yesterday, 76-66 for their first win ever in this tournament. Williams against Lewis, coming down to the last minute. Bradford guarded by Guyton.
If they get it in the post to McClain, he's usually able to beat his man and make a play.
Against Jimenez, drops it off for Cook, up, lays it in, count it. Foul by Haston.
Well, that's why they get it to McClain, because he's so big and strong. He forces you to have to come and do something with him because he's so close to the basket. You see he's got Jimenez, and that time it was Haston came over, and then good job by Cook to get it up and in.
17th point, 18. He gets the three-point play, ties it at 69, 51.3 seconds. Indiana will talk it over. But the Illini feeling that surge of momentum that Brian Cook's three-point play just gave him.
Bob Knight's got to figure out a way. How do I get A.J. Guyton to look? And I would look to get one of those, if you will, on the same side with Haston in case he's on the block. Because I would think Illinois has to double Haston when he gets down there. And the question is, do you come off Guyton or do you come off someone else?
One of the most excited of the Illini, Sergio McClain, the junior.
Trying to get the fans to get involved, as he did on that last play, forcing the double team to get the ball to Cook, who made the basket and the free throw to tie the game.
Indiana 20-7, their best regular season win percentage since 92-93. Could have been better, though, if they had held on to a few at the end that got away. They led by 6 at Michigan State. Only a minute 38 to go. Dropped that in OT. 4-point lead at Purdue. 5 at Minnesota. Lost that one in overtime. 7 against Ohio State at home. And big 12-point lead evaporated on the last day of the regular season at Wisconsin. Jimenez with 40 seconds.
The most important thing you do here is you can't panic.
15 to shoot. Guyton guarded by Bradford.
He's got to get the ball back because they're now under 10. He knew that's where he was going.
Haston checking the clock at 4.
He knows it.
Up with a three-pointer, way wide. Rebound with 15 seconds, Frank Williams.
They're going to try to get it over half court and get a timeout.
And they get it with 7.3 to work with. Final timeout for Lon Kruger. They have been here before, specifically Frank Williams has been here. He's had control of the outcome a few times. End of November, this one against Duke. Just long, and they fall by 3 a few days later against Maryland. Same thing. Williams a chance for the tie or win, and again no good. But 3 times was a charm for Frank Williams against Ohio State. This one, nothing but the bottom, and it produces the win over the Buckeyes at the buzzer.
You know, the thing about those shots is you have to be willing to take the next one regardless of the situation. Some people don't want to take a shot again if they miss it. Frank Williams does not have that fear. He will take the next open shot if it means winning the game. And if it's not an open shot, he'll create one.
Both in the double bonus. No more timeouts for Illinois. They come out with McClain inbounding, Williams, Cook, Krupolja, and Bradford.
And they want to get it to Cook and then get it back to McClain.
McClain going baseline.
That's exactly what they wanted.
Bradford all alone at the three.
Got it.
1.3 left. Guyton's running three-pointer. No, Illinois wins it.
The only one Bradford made.
Indiana out again at the hands of Illinois. Corey Bradford was 0 for 5. He had made a three-pointer in every game of his career. And that one wins the game, keeps the streak going, and ties his school record of 85 in a season.
But Dave, they wanted to run the play that way. That's why they got it to McClain, because Indiana's had to double team him the entire time, and Bradford just came right to the corner to get the look and knocked it right down, and Kruger obviously happy with the results.
Second straight year, Lon Kruger and the Illini knock out Indiana in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. Corey Bradford, who led the Big Ten, most three-pointers made this year, the hero at the end with 1.3 left. The winning three-pointer, 72-69, the final. For Quinn Buckner, Dave Barnett, come on back with us to Chicago.